I'm Mary Torres from Harlingen, Texas, and I'm president of the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society and vice president of the Tip of Texas Genealogical Society, also in Harlingen. So I'm well immersed in genealogy. Oh, this is a very exciting time for people doing Hispanic research. There's so much information coming online that wasn't available prior to this. The tips that I would offer for someone getting started would be basically the tips that you have for doing any genealogy, any ethnic group. Start with yourself, work backwards, interview all the relatives you can find, and document everything very, very, very well. I think one of the mistakes that a lot of us make is we're so excited when we get started that we're gathering all this information and not noting where it came from, and then later on you're duplicating your efforts. But that would be my advice. And one of the major pieces when doing Hispanic research would be to find the location that your ancestors came from. It makes researching so much easier. And you generally will find that when you're researching on this side. Most of us start our research in the U.S. with census records and then work backwards. And in doing that, you're gathering information, you're learning who your parents and your grandparents were, and it gives you a lead, a clue. One of the major pitfalls would be the naming system. A lot of times women did not take their husband's last name, they retain their maiden name. And like in my case, my maiden name was Ozuna, married name Torres. I would be married Torres Ozuna. And then my children could choose to take whichever name they wanted. So it takes a lot more digging, a lot more research to really identify the people that you believe are your true relatives. My favorite online resources are, of course, Family Search and Ancestry. I've been an Ancestry member for many, many years. And those two are my major sites. I also use Genealogy Bank. I use a variety of other resources, NARA, different. There's so much out there right now, you just have to dig for it. Well, I think the majority of the records, if we're looking in Mexico, are ones that we find through Family Search. It's difficult to go into Mexico right now. I know people have gone into the National Archives in Mexico City, and they feel fairly safe because you can fly in and out. I live right across the border, and there are very few places that you can go and actually do research. We depend on materials that people in Mexico have written. We have several people that have written lots and lots of books from their research in archives. Yes, with the Rio Grande Valley Hispanic Genealogical Society, we're a very active group. We meet monthly. We have a speaker at every meeting on some Hispanic genealogy topic. We've written several books. We did a book on oral history interviews with the veterans in the local area. We've done a book on short stories. And one of the exciting projects is our indexing. There are people that have transcribed records or are their original records that have not been photographed or transcribed, and we're working on that. We have produced some books, but we're still actively indexing. And one thing that I'm really proud of is our new Getting Started with Hispanic Genealogy Research. This book came off the press just last week. We have not seen these in any of the conferences that we've been to, and this basically gives you an idea of what we're about, and it talks about the naming patterns and where to look for records. So this will be available for sale on our website.